shield, that weird hand shield that they hold
the
up.
one you hold.
Which for hooks.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is not for speed. This is just power. Just power. He's like, don't try to be fast with this. Just power.
2 weight classes against Canelo Alvarez. What do you think about that fight?
It's a good fight, but Canelo has advantage. His favor because that's his natural weight.
It was like Canelo has been hit by light heavyweights.
Joe Rogan talks about whether Terence Crawford really has a chance against Canelo Alvarez after watching Canelo's intense training footage. Rogan warns that Canelo's unique style and raw power make him a dangerous opponent. He points out that Canelo's technique is so sharp and heavy, it could even damage an opponent's arm. His warning shows just how serious the threat would be for Crawford if these two met in the ring.
Yeah. Canelo has such unique skills, and one of the weird things that he does that very few people since Rocky Marciano does is he punches your arms.
Yes.
He brutalizes your arms.
He's another brilliant guy. He has the greatest punch resistance in the sport. You know, we talked about it earlier. 1 knockout in the whole career.
Knockdown.
And it wasn't knockdown. And it wasn't really a knockdown in my personal view. So, because he didn't touch the canvas. He's never been on the canvas, and we call it chin.
Rogan also prizes Canelo's training style and the sheer force behind his technique. He explains that Canelo's preparation isn't just about being in shape, but also about the precision in his movements and the explosive power in every punch. Rogan says this mix of discipline and natural ability makes Canelo extremely dangerous. His comments highlight that anyone facing Canelo is up against a fighter with both relentless work ethic and unmatched technical skill.
Power. And Canelo is a guy that has power but is constantly working on it. There's a great clip of him working with Andy Ruiz. And they're, you know that shield, that weird hand shield that they hold
the
up?
one you hold.
Which for hooks.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is not for speed. This is just power. Just power. He's like, don't try to be fast with this. Just power. And you see him just, everything is. And so in that fight with Billy Joe, and Billy Joe kept doing that same lean over and over. Like after he would punch, he would lean out of the way, and he just timed it perfectly with that uppercut. And threw everything in it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Abel Sanchez, former trainer of Gennady Golovkin, has serious doubts about Crawford's chances. He explains that Crawford is moving up in weight without any fights in this division, which puts him at a clear disadvantage. Sanchez compares it to Dimitri Bivol, who was already an established light heavyweight champion and still faced huge challenges against Canelo. His point is that if Bivol struggled, Crawford, with no experience at this weight, will face an even steeper climb.
Be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I just think that moving up in weight without having fights to merit that, I think it's the wrong move. But he couldn't handle a 154-pounder the way that he was handling everybody else before. And Madrimov is not Canelo. Canelo's been used to fighting all the bigger guys and has done very well with the bigger guys. Nobody's hurt him. Nobody's heard of him. He's fought the biggest punch. He fought Gennady. Come on, he fought Gennady twice, really the good fights, and then Bivol couldn't. Bivol hit him with everything and couldn't hurt him. So how's Terence gonna do that? I don't think he can. I see Canelo going away maybe in a 16-12, 17-13 kind of fight. The first 3 or 4 rounds will be difficult for Canelo, or a little harder for Canelo because of the speed. But once he just like when Golovkin fought Kell Brook, you know, the first 3 or 4 rounds where Kell was fast. But Terence is going to expose himself when he throws his punches, and Canelo's going to finally get this timing down, and I think we'll be able to control the fight.
Do you see a version of Canelo now that is slowing down? Obviously, a lot of people might point towards the Williams School fight, but again, despite how that one played out, people talk about his lack of motivation maybe for a fight like that. But do you see this version of Canelo declining?
No, I think the lack of motivation because of the opponent could have been the reason for that fight. I think these guys at that level, once they get a name, they're looking at a name. It's a different story. They're not only their motivation, but they're waking up earlier in the morning to go run. All those things come into play because they know they have a challenge ahead of them.
Showbiz the Adult points out the big difference in the level of competition between Canelo and Crawford. He says Canelo has consistently taken on elite fighters across different divisions, proving himself against champions and top contenders with all kinds of styles. That experience has made him adaptable to almost any situation. Crawford's resume, while strong, doesn't feature the same level of names, especially at higher weights. On top of that, Canelo's size and strength give him a natural edge. Showbiz questions why anyone believes Crawford can overcome such clear disadvantages.
I'm going to ask you guys, has Canelo been knocking people out lately? Nope. Has he had a size advantage over fighters he's been fighting? Nope. So you're talking about a guy who hasn't had the devastating power advantage, and he hasn't had the size advantage. So what is he beating those fighters with? Do you think Terence Crawford can go up to light heavyweight and beat Bivol? Hell no. He shouldn't even be in a ring with Bivol. You want to know why? Terence Crawford said himself that David Benavidez was too big. Not even close. What Canelo doing fighting him at light heavyweight? And put on a good fight. Went 12. Never hurt. But boxed with him to put on a good enough fight. So you mean to tell me that Terence Crawford versus Bivol is a hell no, but he's fighting Canelo September 13th? I just looked at Terence Crawford's latest video. Terence Crawford, 20 pounds of muscle, my ass. Terence Crawford looks thin as shit. And I knew that was going to happen because Terence Crawford's metabolism and his frame. You got him walking around maybe close to 180 or something like that. But as he works out, his body's going to do what it does. It's going to get lean. And I think it benefits Terence Crawford. Actually, we don't want him stepping in the ring, blowing up to 180. I think it just hinders him, right? When Floyd Mayweather was fighting at 154, he never weighed in at 154. He weighed in at what was most comfortable for him because 154 is the limit. Terence Bud Crawford, if he gets on the scale and he doesn't weigh quite 168, I think it's actually for his benefit. What he has going for him comes with him being smaller, actually. People talk about his speed, talking about his foot speed, hand speed, talking about all those things, his reflexes and all those things. That comes from what we've seen of him from 147 south.
Manny Pacquiao weighs in on the weight factor, saying Canelo has the advantage by fighting at his natural size. He explains that moving up is more than just adding pounds. It's about learning how to perform with that extra weight. Without adapting, a fighter can feel slower, less agile, and less durable. Pacquiao warns that if Crawford struggles with this adjustment, the fight will only get harder. Canelo's natural build for super middleweight gives him both power and toughness that are difficult to match. Crawford has never taken punches at this weight, making it uncertain how his body will hold up under Canelo's power.
You see Terence Crawford now, just moved up to 154, then he's moving up again 2 weight classes against Canelo Alvarez. What do you think about that fight?
It's a good fight, but Canelo has advantage. His favor because that's his natural weight. And then Crawford moving up. If Crawford don't know how to handle or manage his body and his condition, his footwork, everything like that, to moving up, very difficult. Difficult. He needs to handle and maintain the speed and improve his power. That's what I did. Like, maintain your speed and improve your power.
To get respect from the bigger man.
Dan Rafael kind of made a great point when talking about sizes, because he said, if you look at them two together now, they look the same size. Mm-hmm. He said, people have got the idea of the size thing wrong. It's not looking at them as a physical package. It's who has absorbed the bigger shots in the weight division. So, and it was good. It was a very good point. It was like, Canelo has been hit by light heavyweights and super middleweights for the best part of a decade.
Basically.
He's so used to taking those shots. Whereas Crawford hasn't. Crawford's been hit by 140 guys and 147 guys for the best part of a decade.
Yeah.
What's Crawford going to be like? So basically, trying to say, Canelo could easily absorb Crawford shots. Mm-hmm. Can Crawford easily absorb Canelo's punches?
If you're taking shots from Triple G, Sergey Kovalev, Dimitri Bivol, and you're staying on your feet, not getting hurt.
Not even getting wobbled.
Not even getting wobbled, just literally shaking it off.
Yeah.
You can take Terence Crawford shots.
100%.
Right.
Boxing coach Dion Elam gives a clear prediction, saying Canelo would win. His reasoning is Canelo's rare experience against much bigger men, both in sparring and in real fights. He has taken clean, powerful punches from larger opponents without breaking down, learning how to adapt to size and strength differences. Ellen points out that Crawford has never faced this kind of physical challenge. Moving up means dealing with power and durability he hasn't experienced before. When combined with Canelo's sharp skills, counters, and ability to control the pace, Ellen sees little chance for Crawford.
How do you see it ending?
Canelo is still one of my favorite active fighters. A lot of people are going to judge and say things about his last fight. I understand he didn't cut the ring, all these different things. I think everything will be the intensity. Everything is going to pick up because it's being Crawford. And I think Crawford, I know he's definitely not going to box like that, dancing around, moving around. He's going to move his feet. I think Canelo wins the fight. I think the weight does play a factor by him coming up, putting on all that weight. Canelo's been up there. He's been in the ring with serious punchers before and been hit clean by those guys, clean on the chin, didn't budge, didn't break. I don't see Crawford having that type of punching power like was it Bivol, Triple G, guys like that. So I think that for me, I think if Canelo Crawford has to box and not care to want a crowd please. He has to stick and move. If he sits there too long with Canelo, I think Canelo, his defense is great. He'll be able to withstand it and take him in deep waters and win the fight.
Besides being a boxing coach, you're an expert in strength and conditioning.
Yes, sir.
Crawford never fought more than 154. Mm-hmm. Do you think bulking up, obviously he's bulking up, we've seen the picture, he's moving up from 147, 54, 60, 68, he's going to gain 15, 20, 30 pounds.
For sure.
Will that slow him down by around 5, 6, 7? The heart, the muscle, the oxygen you take. I mean, if your body's not used to fighting it at that size, it doesn't not make a difference.
It depends on what type of strength and conditioning you're doing too, though. So when you do explosive stuff and things like that, plyometrics is different. But he has to bulk up, so he has to lift a little bit of weight. I'm pretty sure he has people with the knowledge and the proper money that he has to get the right people to do the right things.
Some analysts worry that Canelo versus Crawford could repeat the mistakes of Mayweather versus Pacquiao, a fight that disappointed fans after years of hype. That bout turned into a slow and cautious contest that let people down. With Canelo and Crawford, fans want action, not a safety-first approach. Experts warn that if either fighter holds back too much, the sport could take another hit. This fight has the chance to grab worldwide attention, but only if it delivers real excitement from start to finish.
Right now, boxing is hanging on a thread. If Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford pulls a Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather, there's no turning back. In this side of the pond, boxing is dead. Look, a lot of things is going to Saudi Arabia. David Benavidez, one of the phenoms in the sport of boxing, going to be performing in Saudi Arabia. Devin Haney going to be performing in Saudi Arabia. Just put this. Jerome Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz, if it would have came to fruition, was going to happen in Saudi Arabia. Boots Ennis and Tio could have happened in Saudi Arabia. Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia was going to happen in Saudi Arabia. So a lot of these big fight that it was planned was not going to be here. It's not going to be here. So for networks to trust the sport of boxing once again, this fight between Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford, whoever you pick, whoever you support, is more than just wins and losses. Doesn't matter. The fight has to win. Doesn't matter if Canelo Alvarez, doesn't matter if Terence Crawford win, lose. The fight has to win. Just like when it was Hagler versus Hearns on a Monday, prime time. Prime time. That was a fight on a Monday, prime time, free TV. They put up a wonderful performance of this day. People still remember, and it was only 3 rounds. Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, they better show out and entertain. Because if they lay an egg, boxing is dead. That's the death blow.
Trainer Fred Jenkins Jr. says height won't play much of a role since both fighters are similar in that area. The real issue is weight. Even with equal height, Canelo's natural frame allows him to carry weight better, while Crawford has to adapt to new mass. Jenkins believes this adjustment could either help Crawford if he manages it well, or create problems with speed, stamina, and endurance if he doesn't.
Canelo, I'm pretty sure Crawford is studying and watched. His team and them is watching. And yes, they're really not like, you would say bigger because of the weight, but they're actually like, what, how about that? Same height?
I think Crawford might be a little taller.
Yeah, but see, Canelo might be wider in mass, but you got to also add to the fact that, Crawford was a wrestler. People keep forgetting that part of it. He's naturally a strong, physical guy, so I like that. I'm going to just watch it as just like a fan because it could go either way. Crawford could outbox him, Canelo catch him, but I like that. But I'm going to just watch it as a fan, just to study it, that's all.
Rob Acosta addresses the speculation around Crawford's recent weight gain ahead of a possible Canelo fight. Some people have questioned whether it was natural, sparking rumors about performance enhancers. Acosta rejects those claims, saying he doesn't believe Crawford is involved in anything banned. Instead, he credits the change to Crawford's strict training, diet, and conditioning.
I don't like it. I don't like it. He's Rob.
Trainer / strength and conditioning coach.
What's up?
Let's go with you.
Chilling, man. Staying out the way.
Are you staying out the way though, Rob?
Kinda. I'm like out of sight, out of mind. I would say.
I would say you have some intriguing things cooking, but I guess we'll get to that at a later date.
Yeah, when
announcements are made.
When the announcements are made, then we can talk about some fun stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it's exciting.
All right, so let's talk about Canelo Crawford. Okay. PEDs. Been hearing a lot about Terence Crawford and Victor Conte as of late.
I've seen that. Yeah, little
people are making accusations. People are insinuating that Crawford is indeed doping, and based off of his recent size, and they're not used to Terence Crawford looking this big. And give me some insight into that. Give me some insight into fighters walk around weight, PEDs, and criticism of the guy that hasn't tested positive versus the guy in the same fight that's tested positive and team has tested positive.
Right. First, I don't think Crawford's taking anything.
Acosta adds that athletes who train hard and eat right can make big, legitimate changes to their bodies. He stresses that Crawford has always been known for his professionalism and strong work ethic, and nothing has changed. By clearing up the rumors, Acosta wants the focus to stay on the fight itself and the challenge that awaits inside the ring.
I think just the size difference in what he walks around to what he's been looking lately, that is that's just something that possibly, that's how he walks around. Now, Crawford's physique, he's the type of guy that if he becomes heavy, it shows in his face, it shows in the obliques, but he still got abs, he still got definition in his chest. You know what I mean? So he could just possibly just look like that. Now, mind you, there's still a decent amount of time. We're still talking about 4 weeks. So I'm curious to see how either wherever he is, the cut goes, or however low he goes, how it gets constructed on the way up. As far as Victor Conte is concerned,
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more next time. And hey, if you made it all the way here without hitting like or subscribe, that's like going 12 rounds and forgetting to throw a punch. Don't be that guy. Show some love and join the team.